Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry McMillan, and I'm glad you could be here today. And I'm doing my first TED Talk ever. And so I hope the topic that I picked today is going to interest both men and women. However, I've geared it toward men because in my class it's one or the other. So let's begin. So lately I've been thinking about what it means to be a man, since I'm a man. And we're in an age nowadays where, you have masculinity, femininity, and all sorts of things that are in between. But in my mind today, as I'm speaking, and probably for the last 2 or 3 years, masculinity, as we know it, has come under fire and is being pigeonholed. So I think we need to start a very serious discussion about what it means to be a man and to be masculine in today's world. And also that young men need to understand that in this serious discussion that we want to have, that we need to have, that it's okay to be a compassionate person or a family man with, those kind of adjectives as compared to, oh, I'm so virile, oh, I'm such a stud, oh, I can pound the pavement all day long and nobody can keep up with me. That's kind of the term we associate with masculinity as we know it. So, with that information, we're going to go into the main part of what I want to talk about today, which is the Me Too movement. So does everybody know what the Me Too movement is? Okay. The Me Too movement is a movement about women and how men, for God only knows how long, have wronged them, have treated them horribly through sexual advancements, through degrading remarks, through, let's just face it, rape. They've been raped by men. And so, with that said, let's take a couple examples of these masculine men who have perpetrated and perpetuated this situation. Let's look at Bill Cosby, for one. Okay, in the 1980s, he was considered America's dad, right? He was a pillar of his community. He was well-liked. He was trusted by men and women. Well, that wasn't the case as we thought it was. He's done a lot of bad things, and he's now being punished for it. Let's look at Harvey Weinstein. He was a pillar of his community, which was theater and movies, the movies industry. He was a philanthropist and a philanderer, but we didn't know that. So when you look at these two men, you think of virility, you think of inspiration, you think that they're manly men, they're what we expect a man to be. Well, I agree with that. I just don't agree with how they treated women. They were, in essence, sheep in wolf's clothing. Okay? So when you have men like this all around the world in the positions that they're in, and they're doing things like this, and then they get caught, well, what's that? That's total idiocy, and it brings a bad light on other men. So if this were to continue from this basis, eventually it's going to cause disrespect for men, all men. Nobody's going to want to be around men. I know what you're all about. I know what you're like. I know you're a man. You're, not good. So these men presented a facade when in fact they were perpetrators. Now this movement, the Me Too movement, is going strong. And a lot of women, a lot of famous women, a lot of normal women are coming forward now and saying, this is what's happening to me. Why is this happening? They should, and something should severely be done about it. But at the same time that this is happening, I think men and, men should take part in this conversation and be part of it and become, I don't want to say co-opt it, I want to make masculinity an integral part of the Me Too talk. Not only are we there to help, but we're also there to explain that we can join the conversation. So, in reality, old masculine must go. Virile, strong, handsome, the whole, that needs to go. That really doesn't define what men are. What we need to do is, and my proposition is, we need to change those descriptors. We need to show that men are compassionate and caring, that they're gentle and yet firm. They can be men of the community. They can be men, pillars of the community. They can be husbands, caring husbands and friends, and still be masculine. They don't have to be pigeonholed as, I can lift 250 pounds over my head, what can you do? So, in essence and in closing, men can be the protectors, but they cannot be the aggressors in the 21st century. Thank you very much. And you got to show yourself. Did you pan around at the first two?